What's up, guys? Mike Thomas, aka the Young Trishula here. I am here with chat today. They're over here. They can say hi. And I'm back. I know it's been a little bit since I last posted a video. I think it's been like 67 days. And if you've been wondering where I've been, we started that little absence at the start of the subathon. So of course we were doing subathon stuff, but I was very sick. I was very, very sick. I came back from YCS Vancouver, and I was just so ill, and I could not get through a sentence without coughing for about 7 weeks. So we're back here today, finally having recovered, with some stuff to talk about. This happened last weekend, but I managed to get third place somehow with Dragon Link at a remote duel regional. I really wasn't trying to get third place. I just entered with Dragon Link because I realized I needed my invite, and I said, you know what, I just want to play some Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a Saturday, whatever. And I got third place. So Dragon Link, maybe still a good deck. I'm going to go through my deck list, and I think we can maybe show off like a combo or two. I might say that for another video, actually, because I don't think this deck list played the cards needed for the combo. But there's a combo I've been meaning to show off for about 2 months now that is a really, really powerful combo that I'm not really sure I've really seen anybody else show. But just to give you an idea of what that combo would be, it would be a 2 or 3 card combo-ish. It's kind of flexible, and it gets you to Seal, Borderlands, Savage, Beast, IP, and I think a couple of cards in the hand. It's just a god hand, you know, like it gets you everything. But there's just some cool sequencing there that I wanted to show off. I haven't put it on the channel, so that'll probably be a future video. But I will let's just get into the deck profile. Let's talk about it, because Dragon apparently still best deck forever. Here we go. So we played Dragons. I'm gonna move the side and extra over here. We'll talk about that later. But we played 3 Seyfert. That's pretty obvious. I don't feel like I need to explain that. 3 Black Metal and Red MD. I did not play the Meteor Dragon this time around because with the recent hits to Dragon Link following the ban list in the period since I've been away, we've lost some of our consistency tools in the deck, and because of us losing the consistency tools, I just don't really think I can justify putting the deck up to like 47 cards anymore to fit like Meteor and Gamma and Driver and all these extra cards. So I just cut stuff for consistency. I still think those cards are crazy, they're broken, but I just wanted the deck to be very consistent. So I cut them. For the Rockets, I played a very small package. I played 2 Tracer, Recharger, and Absolrator. Same idea. I cut Caliber just for consistency. I didn't feel like I needed it. It never came up, so didn't miss it. For the Bestials, I played a pretty big Bestial package on the other house side. I played 1 Magnemite, 2 Druis Worm, 3 Saronir, and 3 Lubellion. Now this might seem them a little bit strange. It's like, why did you cut Druis Worm? Druis Worm is like probably the best Bestial because everybody plays it at 3 in their side deck anyway. And the reason for that is just that I didn't really feel like I needed the 3rd copy. I ended up siding it. I didn't main deck it though. And Magnemite obviously can search these. I just felt like having this many Bestials would mean that I would be favored into matchups where Bestials are good, and you know, I can switch the Bestials around. But Saronir is a better engine card than something like Druis Worm, so I'd rather put this at 3 than Druis, and I wanted to make space for other cards in my deck. So that was the Bestials. Then for the 1-ofs, we played the 1 Levy and the 2 Babies. Not really much to say there. For the spells, obviously we play the 2 field spells. You have to play those. 3 quick launch. The Chaos Space in the brand new quarter century rare. It looks so pretty. So pretty. So I did manage to play that. But I don't think I ever drew it, so maybe I'll go back to my other copy because this copy seems to be cursed. And then I played the Regained. And I also played the Branded Beast. A lot of people cut this card. I really don't get it. I think this card's crazy. I don't think it's like necessarily needed when you go first. I think when I go first, I actually activate Regain more than I play Branded Beast. Where Branded Beast really shines though is when you go second, and I don't think people realize that this card is better going second sometimes than the Regains, because this lets you play through interaction. So like if your Romulus gets negated or something, you can always go up into a seal and go for Beast, use Beast to tribute off the seal, pop something, and then trigger seal to get into something, and sometimes that can let you get one additional resource piece that you would not have access to otherwise. So this card is really just crazy for that. Then for the defensive cards, it was a pretty simple lineup: 3 Imperm, 3 Nibiru, 3 Ash, 3 Veiler. I just feel like these are kind of the best hand traps right now. I think the Veilers are really, really good. A lot of people are asking me about how Veiler was. Veiler's insane. Rescue Ace, like if you draw any 2 of these, Rescue Ace just fails to combo like pretty much every time. It's very, very difficult for Rescue Ace to do anything through a combination of any of these 2 hand traps. So, you know, I felt like these are the best to go with. Also, they're the best when paired into a combo deck. So like Mannadium or Infernoble, you know, you're just always hoping to draw Nibiru plus like one of these 6, or, you know, Ash Blossom plus Nib, or like double Imperm. Like all of those are just solid into Infernoble, which luckily I didn't have to play against. But I just wanted cards that were always live against that deck. So that was the main deck. It was 43 cards, pretty straightforward. It's just standard dragons, pretty clean deck list, I think. For the side list, I played 3 Droll. Obviously, these are like for Mannadium. You can put it in against the mirror, it's fine. It's not bad into Tearlament. But overall, pretty good card. Funnily enough, this card actually wasn't as good against me as I thought it would have been. I got Drolled, I want to say 5 or 6 times during the event, and every single time I got Drolled, it was just so fine. Like, I just did not care. So, Droll, kind of a cool card. Shout out to Droll. Then the 1 Pankratops. Pankratops was kind of a last-minute addition in the side deck. I think Pankratops is really good right now because of how much mid-range is floating around in the format. But what I really kind of put it in for is almost Infernoble, because I couldn't think of another hand trap that was good into Infernoble. I almost sided Lancia, because Lancia is like okay into Rescue Ace, because you can like Lancia them and then they're not able to like it makes some of their combos kind of awkward. But also like it's okay into Infernoble into some hands, because they won't be able to loop their Phoenix Blade, but other times, you know, the Lancia, you drop it on them and it does literally nothing. So I was debating on the Lancia, but I just decided it wasn't really worth it. It wasn't good enough. So I thought, well, maybe Pankratops will be fine, because I think their usual inboard is something like double Charles, Apollo, and like maybe a Gearfried. So, you know, Pankratops can beat over the Apollo and maybe pop one of the Charles or force out Gearfried. And we don't really play that as many spells as Dragon Link anyway, so the Charles are kind of whatever. So I thought that, you know, maybe I could get away with it, but I didn't play into Infernoble, and I only sided this in once against like Rescue Ace, and I didn't draw it, so it wasn't anything like that made a difference in the list. I sided the 1 Druid Worm. I have no idea if I ever drew it, because I already am playing 2 in the main deck, so I don't know if I ever drew this copy, but it was nice to go up to 3. Then in the side, I also played 2 Harpies, 2 Lightning, or 1 Harpies, 2 Lightning Storm. This card's not it too. But these were just back row respect in general. You know, you're playing a regional, you never know what you're going to play against. But I played against nothing but meta, and I did not draw these into the Rescue Ace I played against, so it didn't matter. Then for this was kind of the star of the deck list for me. This was, I played 3 Triple Tactics Talent in the side, because I felt like everybody was going to be on hand traps, and they were. And Dragons already has a really good time into hand traps, like it's fine. But what was really, really nice is I drew tactics all the time. Like I put this in whenever I went first, and I drew it quite a lot. And what would happen is I'd get like Drolled, or I'd get like Ashed or something. And I'd just say, you know what, that's fine. I'm going to look at your hand. And I would just see that they had like a 1 card starter, 1 like defensive card, like maybe a Lightning Storm or something, and maybe an Extender. I would just take the starter out of their hand and just be like, okay, go ahead. And they would like draw their hand and they'd be like, I'll pass. And it's like, yeah, okay. I'll continue playing now. That happened like 3 times during the event. So this card was really insane for me. Really, really good card. Looking at people's hands is just crazy. Then for Pearly Respect, I played 3 Book of Moon. I didn't play against Pearly, but if I had the respect for it. I did side this in a few times in other matchups. The only time that I drew this card at all was I was playing against, I think it was Unchained, and both of us had thought that we had like an extra 10 minutes in the round. And while my opponent was playing, I like looked over the clock and realized that we actually didn't have 10 minutes. We had like 1 minute and not 10. So I drew a Book of Moon for turn, and instead of like playing through his board normally, I was just like, I'll book your Fenrir, and then I'll summon some guys and attack you and do some damage. Because like at that point I was like, oh god, we have to go crazy. So like this didn't really do much of anything for me. Then I played the Scarlight. Scarlight actually put in more work than it normally does at this event. A lot of my games either went close to time or to time. And I think this is something I want to talk about just as like a footnote here, is that remote duels give you an extra 5 minutes on your rounds. So with the caveat of me saying that like Scarlight did come up for me, something that you guys should keep in mind is that if this had been an in-person paper tournament, I might have gotten some losses or ties that ended up being wins for me because, I had like an extra minute or 2 to go battle phase or do whatever. So maybe keep that in mind, that like if you play this deck IRL and you're going to time a lot, that either if you're not playing Scarlight, definitely put it in, or also just keep in mind that like games are taking a really long time and dragons might need to like find some ways to speed up the match process. So that's something to consider for the future, but I think that's just kind of state of the meta right now, is everything's taking forever. Then for the extra deck, it's pretty standard. It was Savage, Chaos Angel, Baron, Dispatter. I kept Chaos Angel in for Pearly. As some of you guys might know, I'm not really a fan of this card. I don't really think it's that good, but Pearly can't out it, so it's there. Also, another reason to play Beast in your extra deck in your main deck, is that Dragons has no out to this card other than Beast. So if you play a mirror match, they summon this. If you're not playing Beast, you just lose immediately. Then for the Link ones, it's Pisty and Striker, obviously. Also, the Quarter Century rare, by the way, very, very pretty. Just wanted to highlight that. Pick yours up if you haven't already. And then the 1 Romulus, 1 Seals, 1 IP Masquerena, and then my SP. So shout out to SP, best card in the game right now. I've never made this, I don't think. I don't think I made this. Actually, I made this card exactly 1 time, and it was actually it was really funny. Actually, I'll tell you guys what the game state was real quick. The board state looked like IP. It was IP. And then I made a Seals in the main monster zone because I knew my opponent had Nib because I had tactics to him earlier in the duel. And then I made an SP, and I just said, well, I guess I'll end my turn here. And he was like, okay, when you attempt to leave main phase, I'll activate Nib. And I said, oh, you shouldn't have done that. SP effect, banish these 2, okay, Seals tributes, and then I full comboed, and then end phase these come back. And I was just like, all right, cool. But that's the only thing that SP did for me the entire tournament. I really thought I'd make this card more. I didn't, but it is just a good card to be playing. It's the best card in the game at the moment, so it'd be silly not to be playing it. But just keep that in mind. If you like need a budget consideration, you could play without it. I don't think you should, but you can. Like I don't really think I use this very much. So just keep that in mind if you're looking for budget options. And then for the other extra deck, I played Dark Charmer, Triple Burst, Borland, Access Code, and Atum. So obviously here the cut was Unicorn for the SP. If Pearly wasn't in the game, I would put the Unicorn back in for Chaos Angel, just because I think Unicorn does come up for the Link arrows still when you're trying to go for lethal with an Access Code. So just something to keep in mind is that just because SP came out and SP is your Unicorn replacement, it doesn't mean that I necessarily would want to cut Unicorn. So just keep that in mind. Everything else is pretty much uncuttable. I really don't think there's much to talk about here with this. This card's crazy. This is one of the cards that I do want to talk about in that combo video I was alluding to earlier, because I don't think people really know how to use Atum correctly in this deck, or to its full potential maybe. So I have some cool Atum combos in the pipeline, but yeah, very, very cool. I don't know if I have any closing thoughts other than, oh yeah, I guess one closing thought is please summon your seals for the love of God. The number of Dragon Link players that I see that just go like Borland and Savage, or like Borland plus Dispatter or something like that, and they think that's correct. Please don't do that. Like, that's not how you're supposed to play this deck. Please summon the seals. The seals is very important, and is how you win most of your games. So yeah, please make seals. I don't think there's anything else. Twitch chat, did I forget anything, boys? Just as we're wrapping this up, did I forget anything? Remember, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this, please encourage me. Please come to the Twitch stream. He shaved. Yeah, I shaved, by the way, if you haven't already noticed. Yeah. Okay, bye.